The NBA is very much a league that tends to be dominated by experience. Looking at almost every championship team in recent history, their best players and most important contributors are pretty much always players in their primes, or older, more experienced players that are used to both the mental and physical aspects of the game. Rookies primarily tend to be streaky players who may show off some very promising glimpses of hope in the future, but they also struggle at times as well because of how steep of a learning curve it is from college ball to the pros. With that being said though, the leap players make from year 1 to year 2 in the NBA can shape the future of a player's career, because growth and improvement is expected across the board in that span now that they have a year under their belt and know the proper ways to train for an 82-game season against this level of competition. And this brings us to the topic of today's video. Today we'll be discussing one player in particular going into his second season next year that I believe will have a major breakout season, being Coby White of the Chicago Bulls. Because of the Bulls not being invited to the bubble, it's been quite a while since we've seen him on a court live on television, so I feel like he's begun to fly way under the radar. But in this video, I'll give you all a refresher on how his rookie season went, the reasons I have for why I'm as high on him as I am, and what will contribute to him having a big season next year. Before we start though, it turns out that about 82% of you that watch the videos are not even subscribed, so please, if you enjoy the content here on the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button, as it not only helps out the channel a ton, but I would also very much appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's begin. When Coby White entered the NBA coming off of one season at North Carolina in college, there was a lot to be excited about regarding his future as a point guard in the NBA, especially because of how his playstyle fits in perfectly to the way guards operate in the NBA now. He has terrific size at 6'5", he was a phenomenal shot creator off the dribble at UNC, his shooting ability was NBA ready, and he was even a good playmaker that ranked in the 97th percentile as a pick-and-roll passer. That one season he averaged 16.1 points and 4.1 assists per game, which is very solid production for a freshman playing at a big program like that, and throughout the year, his shooting was always his best asset. One of the most important things needed in scorers and shooters is confidence, and Coby exuded confidence. In a moment's notice, he could catch fire and absolutely take over a game once he gets going, which is a characteristic of all of the best scoring guards at the next level. And even when he spots up, he made a ridiculous 47.7% of his shots off the catch as well, demonstrating his impact both on and off the ball. For me, a good player comparison for the way he played would be Jamal Murray, and a year later, I still think that's pretty spot on. And funnily enough, Coby, like Jamal, got drafted 7th overall in the draft by the Chicago Bulls. Coming into the Bulls was a pretty good situation for him, especially because of one of their biggest needs being the point guard position, but where it wasn't exactly ideal was who was coaching him. Jim Boylen, as most NBA fans have come to realize now, wasn't exactly the greatest option to have in charge, and a lot of what he did came under heavy criticism. He did get fired at the end of this season, but throughout the year leading up to this point, there were several things that made it clear that he had to go. Outside of having a rocky relationship with some of the players, and it being very known that they weren't the biggest fans of the way he ran things, he also grossly mismanaged a lot of the young talent, and Coby White was someone that definitely was held back from this. Before I get into that, though, I do have to preface this by saying that rookie point guards almost always struggle out of the gate in the NBA, especially ones who tend to be scorers by nature, so that also did affect White. However, on that topic, you really have to look past all the ups and downs that will naturally come from players in that position and focus on whether or not they show the glimpses of future stardom to make investing in them worth it, and Coby White absolutely checked that box. On the year as a whole for his rookie season, White averaged 13.2 points and 2.7 assists per game, while shooting 39% from the field and 35% from three. And obviously, none of those numbers really jump out to anybody as what a future stud would produce. But now we're going to take a lot deeper of a look into his production and provide some much needed context. Throughout the entire season, White came off the bench, and playing for Jim Boylen resulted in his role being wildly inconsistent. My belief is that when you have young talent with star potential, you need to give them the opportunity to shine, and with that, it means you also have to allow them to play through their mistakes and endure the growing pains of adjusting to the NBA. Boylen did not do that with White, and while Kobe went through his ups and downs as all rookie point guards do, he did not have the patience with him. For example, there was a 6-game stretch in December where, admittedly, White was in the middle of a slump, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, confidence is everything for these young guys, and in this stretch, Boylen heavily reduced White's minutes instead of allowing him to play through it and regain his form. In that stretch, White played fewer than 20 minutes in 5 of the 6 games, and on the year he averaged 26 minutes per game, which tells me that Boylen was way too quick to bench him. Now, we're finally at the part of the video I know you've all been waiting for, being why I see White as a prime candidate to break out next season and have a huge year, and a lot of it comes down to the way he finished the season. When teammate Chris Dunn got injured in February, it opened up more minutes for White, and with this opportunity, he took it and made the absolute most of it. After a very inconsistent rookie season, he finally started to put it all together at the perfect time, and he was building a ton of positive momentum to hopefully carry into the next season. After Dunn's injury, White rattled off 3 straight games scoring over 30 points, shooting the absolute lights out, and showing off everything that made him so deadly in college, and in the last 9 games of the season, he averaged 26.1 points and 4.4 assists per game, while shooting it highly efficiently at 48% from the field and 43% from 3. Funnily enough, he finally earned Boylen's trust enough to get his first ever NBA start against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and in that game he put up 20 points and 5 assists, but that also just so happened to be the last game the Bulls played for the season because of COVID shutting everything down. Now heading into next season, White is riding incredibly high after finishing the year playing at a near all-star level, and with a change of coach having Billy Donovan in charge now, who did very well allowing youngster Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to play some of his best basketball last season, White should be in for a much bigger part of the team's plans. I fully expect him to be the starter from day one, more of the offense will be centered around his ability to create and score the ball, and as is almost always the case, White will be more consistent and more efficient as a scorer now that he has a season under his belt. Plus, one of the biggest reasons players take such big leaps from year 1 to year 2 is because they learn how to properly train in the offseason for the NBA, and because of the COVID break, White has had even more time than normal to put in work and improve his game, and in an interview, he emphasized how much work he's been putting in. In this interview, he said, "I've been working a lot this summer on many different things, but I keyed in on finishing around the rim, shooting off the dribble, and playmaking." That's great news for any Bulls fan because while the shooting off the dribble is something that he has almost always naturally excelled at, the other 2 were definitely areas he needed improvement in. White ranked near the bottom of the league at finishing at the rim this year, making only 49% of his shots from that range, which is concerning, but not alarming if that makes sense. Improvement is very possible because of how good his touch is in that area, and he should gradually improve as he gets used to the physicality aspect. As for the playmaking, his assists were relatively low for a point guard admittedly, but I'm far less worried about this part of his game developing because as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, in college he was one of the best pick and roll passers in the country, and with his role likely getting bigger this upcoming season, he'll have more opportunities to show that. I genuinely think White has the ability to be an all-star in the NBA in his prime, and while that might not come immediately next season, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see a big jump in his numbers. He's a talented young player that I could see having a similar trajectory to Jamal Murray, who we all just watched put on a show in the bubble. As long as the Bulls allow him to play his game, he'll be good for a long time. So when he inevitably breaks out, remember this video and know I was ahead of the curve. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think Coby White's ceiling is. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.